Stand and Deliver.
I'm back again. Hurrah! Right, welcome back. We'll just do the whole show again, shall we? Get all the acts back. Do it on a loop. Do a comedy equivalent of Groundhog Day and see how long it takes. But yeah, we have been running a sort of competition where we're working out our collective noun. And we've had a few. I've turned this into a really terrible radio show. It only plays 80s music. But there is one song in there by a band called Summer Camp, which isn't from the 80s, but it's sound 80s, so I shoved it in there. You are very naughty. I'm turning into Julian Clary. Yeah, we've had from one bit of smut to another. Our regular John Donnelly has messaged in the Stand and Deliver Facebook page at Facebook.com/Stand and Deliver Comedy Night, and he has suggested our collective noun should be the collective noun for us should be the Sit and Receivers. At least we don't have to stand up. Liv has made a suggestion for if I were ever to found a cult. She said I should call my acolytes Rhododendrons. Botany and stupidity in one word. I love it. Sums me up, really. I went to the doctor because of botany issues the other week. I'm joking, I couldn't get an appointment. I just googled it and terrified myself. Never ever Google symptoms. I once had mild constipation. That's ironic, isn't it? I can't get the word constipation out. I had mild constipation, and I genuinely thought I was going to die thanks to some nitwit on Yahoo Answers. I mean, if you are going to look up symptoms, keep it to NHS Direct. It seems to be slightly... Well, they do err on the side of caution. Every paragraph ends in, call a doctor and don't sue us. Call the ambulance. Oh, dearie me. Right, so I'm not quite sure. We stand and deliverers. We've had the Sit and Receivers. Somebody did say to me at the bar, midwives because they deliver. My dad who mentioned that one to me. That's where I get it from. But yeah, I guess it is, before anyone moans about that, I mean, highwaymen, maybe not very inclusive. Midwives is actually inclusive, because male midwives are still called midwives, they're not called mid-husbands. A mid-husband sounds like they're still engaged, doesn't it? I'm not quite sure. Oh, dearie me. We are moments away from our fantastic headliner this evening. I was talking about... What's going on? I mean, it's like a cruel trick, isn't it? I mean, you talk while I'm talking, then when I go quiet, you stop talking.
I think it was her.
You've dropped your friend right in it! You know, does your friend have exactly the same voice as you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cruel trick to play on, isn't it? To go silent and think it's me making it up in my own head. I mean, if that is the case, I don't need you lot. I can just imagine my own audience. I mean, it makes me very unwell, but never mind. But I had a bit of a fright the other week, though. I was talking about school earlier, but an old university friend got back in touch with me, and that's always... I mean, that bit of humour was a very subtle please be quiet. Sometimes on a Thursday night, subtlety is not needed, what one needs to go nuclear. We've only ever thrown two people, I'm not suggesting I'm going to throw you out, that'd be a bit of an overreaction. We've only ever thrown two people out of this comedy club in the whole 3.5-year history. And it was really weird. It was a mother and a son, and at best they were drunk. They were probably they were high as kites. They were like talking amongst themselves throughout the entire first half in a really, really weird way. The owner was very generous, and he offered them a refund and said, "Look, you're too drunk. You need to go home." I mean, you know, you've got you've misbehaved, but you've got a refund. So what's the logical thing to do? Threaten to smash Bill's windows. They went from being politely asked to leave to firmly asked to leave, shall we say. And Bill got a standing ovation. I mean, they didn't put enough chairs out, but still people were applauding. So we were glad to see the back of these people. But yeah, an old university friend got in touch with me recently. It was a bit of a fright. It's a bit like the past coming back to haunt you, isn't it? And in fact, her name was Diane, although, to be honest, I actually think her name was Anne. We just didn't really like her. A bit strange though. A lot of we were discussing this. A lot of our university friends are now all in therapy, and I don't know what I did. It's a bit peculiar, isn't it? Therapy's nonsense, though, really, to be honest. I'm not going to sit there and pay somebody God knows how much to listen to me talk. I mean, I'm the talent, they should be paying me. I'm sticking to that anyway. Remind me of the therapists, they can be very, very useful, but what I don't understand is the self-help book market. I think there's been one or two that are useful, the rest are just utter dross. I mean, if you go into the self-help section of Waterstones, because you don't have an internet connection, I guess. They're all along the same sort of lines. They're all along the lines of, how did I go from wage slave bedwetter to overnight success story and entrepreneur? Chapter 1, I got rid of the bed.